In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 general tips that can help you grow as an independent performer. If you're new to the channel, my name is Luke Embers and I'm a professional fire dancer in Chicago. As an independent performer, my biggest challenge is figuring out how to grow my business into what I want it to be in the future. From figuring out how to get gigs, experience, make money, and building a reputation, these are obstacles that any independent performer is going to have to go through regardless if you're singing, dancing, acrobatic, or doing any type of performing art you do for entertainment. So if you're just starting your journey in performing or you're looking for general advice on how to grow, here are 3 tips that I think will help you out. Tip number 1, know your North Star. Let me explain. So the way I see the entertainment industry, you generally have 2 options or paths that you can go down. The first one is being you get really good to the point where you get recruited by an entertainment company or agency and you have an exclusive contract with them where you're doing a tour or you're doing like a residency show. Think of like Cirque du Soleil, Disney, or like a celebrity artist, someone that you're exclusively with in a contract. The other way is actually booking your own shows and creating your own clientele. Now, neither one is better than the other, but it's important to figure out what your long-term goals are so you can put yourself in the best position to help you get to where you want to be. Now, both of these avenues can help in one way or another, but there are trade-offs. For example, being part of an entertainment company or exclusive group limits the amount of external shows that you can do on your own or with other groups, because typically you'll have an exclusive contract with this company or organization, and you'll typically have a duration as to how long that contract will last. And while there's that exclusivity though, you do get to be part of that brand recognition regardless of what that company is. Not to mention you'd obviously get a lot of training and a lot of growth from this opportunity by becoming a performer through them. On the flip side, if you're more independent and you're the one booking your own shows and building your own clientele, you have that greater flexibility and control because you're the one that sets the pricing, you're the one that sets the schedule, you're the one that gets to book and decide which ones you even want to take in the first place. With that exclusive contract with the company, you're forced to do X amount of shows or work throughout a certain duration. And you also get that soul recognition, I'd say. As a artist, as part of a company, you're just one piece of that company alongside a bunch of other performers. So the recognition is pretty spread out. There's that balance and trade-offs with control and flexibility versus experience and brand awareness and exclusivity. Me personally, my North Star is to build my own business and build my own brand so that one day I can create my own show where I'm the one that's owning it and I can create the company that is an opportunity for others. Which leads me to tip number 2. Be efficient. When it comes to trying to book my own shows and do my own performances, I'm the one that's responsible for the marketing. I'm the one that's responsible for the sales, for the cold outreach, for preparing the show, for preparing my skills for the show, for adjusting the show based on the venue or based on the clientele or the theme of the event, right? I'm the one that has control of all that, and that's why it's so important to have everything as efficient as possible, from the booking process all the way to the performance. And so a couple questions to ask yourself when it comes to efficiency is, how are you generating leads? How are you promoting yourself? Is it through social media? Are you just sporadically posting, or do you have a schedule? How are you organizing the money that you make? Are you doing your own accounting? How are you understanding the amount of money you're making in, what you're spending, and where all that money is going, and even allocating it for taxes too? How are you leveraging AI and automating the processes that take too much time so that you can focus your time on bigger picture things versus the tedious tasks that are delegated? All of these questions encapsulate what it is being an independent performer. You're the one in charge of all of this stuff, and it's important that you do your due diligence in order to do that. For example, another big thing I recommend when it comes to being efficient or just pulling in leads is using Google Business Profile. There have been so many times where I had a client, I asked them how they heard about me. They said, you know, I looked up fire dancer in Chicago and you're the one that popped up and you had the highest reviews. I feel like a lot of artists sleep on this, right? Because I do know a lot of other fire artists in Chicago. I don't see them on Google Business Profile. I don't see them promoting myself the same way I'm promoting myself. Building that uniqueness and utilizing tools that are out there for free will help you put your name out there to get more gigs. And I know as artists, I feel like a lot of us don't really tap into these efficient tools and technology, but that's where the advantage is, because if you're able to utilize all these tools, which a lot of them are free, that's leverage in terms of bringing in new clients, bringing in new leads, and bringing in money. So make sure you stay efficient. It's made a world of a difference for my business, and I hope it does the same for you. Last but definitely not least, tip number 3, get experience. I've had a lot of conversations with other performing artists in Chicago, and a thing that we've all kind of looked down upon, those artists that think they can get away with just knowing the skill of the act that they're doing. In reality, you also have to understand the performance side of things. You have to understand the face of things. So when it comes to fire dancing, yeah, you can maybe learn the moves really well, but how's your face? How is your performance when it comes to interacting with the audience, interacting with the music, choreographing to music, telling a story with the craft? Because there's a difference between just seeing someone do their own thing on stage and actually building a performance, building drama, building a connection with the audience. And so keeping that in mind is really important when it comes to performing and doing this professionally. Something that really helped me when I was first starting out was finding public community events where I could show off my skills. For example, here in Chicago, we have the Full Moon Jam, which is a monthly gathering on the summer months. On the full moon, it's a giant fire circle on the lakefront, and we have a bunch of fire artists and performers doing their thing. It's a public event, so anyone can show up. So this is a great way to get free publicity and being in front of an audience and practicing new things. And I use this all the time whenever I'm there, when I'm able to. I try new moves, I try things that I don't usually try, because it's a great risk-free way of trying something new and elevating your skills. There are also a couple other small opportunities that I found, such as this one event called the Open Stage Festival. And it was basically a platform for independent small artists to go up on stage and perform whatever it was, whether it was singing, rapping, poetry, dance, you name it. And I was there to perform fire dancing. I was like, hey, can I show up and spin? And they said, oh yeah, of course. And so I got a lot of recognition from that and just built a lot of confidence too, to be on stage, to get validation from the crowd saying that what you do is really cool, you got to keep doing it. Finding small pockets of opportunities, regardless of if it's a paid show or not, is really important for you to elevate your experience. And then this kind of ties in with the other avenue of entertainment where I mentioned when it comes to being exclusive with a company. You have to get experience regardless of what path you're going to go down. And so in order to do that, you have to find these opportunities. Back in college, when I was kind of starting my entrepreneurial journey, there was a quote that was said during a workshop, and it was, don't find opportunities, notice them. And so it's all about noticing opportunities that are already in front of you versus trying to narrow down your vision and look all over the place for opportunities. There are so many opportunities right in front of you, you just have to notice them. So where are the biggest gatherings that take place, and how can you kind of get in front of people? Another thing I like to do is just practice on the Chicago lakefront. So sometimes I'll just go with my girlfriend, we'll just hang out, I'll do some fire, and there's already a crowd like saying, oh, whoa, what is he doing over there? That's awesome, you know? So small things like that, just putting yourself out there in public where some eyes can see you, will make a world of a difference, compounding over time, so that you can build experience on stage, you can build experience as a performer, and this will help you get to where you're at, whether you're trying to be an exclusive dancer for a company or build your own independent business. Another good strategy is to find small groups that are not exclusive and perform with them. There are a lot of different entertainment groups in Chicago that I try to do contract work with. So what I'll do is I'll reach out to them, I'll see, hey, can I be on your roster as a fire dancer? If they ask for a performer, you want to be the one that this company reaches out to. So that's another good strategy and tip that I suggest when it comes to putting yourself out there and getting more opportunities to perform. Just keep in mind, I'm still a growing independent artist myself. I do not have all the answers, but these are things that have helped me along the way, have helped me see real results in the growth journey that I'm trying to partake in. I hope that this has helped you in some shape or form, whether you're a performing artist, you're becoming one and want to become more professional and do more professional shows, or just someone who wants to hear more about the back end of the entertainment industry. And with that said, that's all I got for you guys for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you took some value away from this. Like always, be what remains, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.